Greetings, Julia. Today's video comes to you from the NASCO conference in Ann Arbor, Michigan. NASCO is a national organization for North American Students of Cooperation. Every year they have a conference dedicated to collective decision-making and making cooperative houses function and all the rest. And I went to this conference to give a workshop on the public goods game. Public goods game is a staple game in evolutionary game theory. So you get everybody seated in a room in a circle, and you give them all some fake money. 10 Monopoly dollars. What we said was, okay, here are your 10 Monopoly dollars. We ask that you take some portion of your 10 Monopoly dollars and you put it into a public pot. It can be 0%, it can be 100%, some portion of the money we gave you. We ask that you put it into a public pot. And then we're going to double that public pot. And then we're going to give that public pot back to everybody evenly. So everybody's going to get the same amount of that doubled public pot. The optimal strategy to making the most money as a whole is for everybody to give 100% of what they have. Then all of the money in the system is going to double every round. But the optimal individual level strategy is to give nothing. You're gonna be siphoning off the public pot that everybody else creates. In the meanwhile, you have all your own private goods. So we played this game and we brought some chocolate and some little plastic reptiles and other little tchotchkes to give out as prizes. We created a whole bazaar. So the way that games like this are usually played is as a sort of measurement. Anthropologists use them when they're doing ethnographic work. So they'll play economic games with people from very, very different cultures than our Western capitalist culture, and they try to see if people respond differently in playing the game. And the evolutionary game theorists, they use these games in a similar way to anthropologists. So they simulate situations where there's winners and losers depending on how cooperative the players are, create simulations of what kind of strategies can evolve and what kind of strategies won't. And these are all really important things to understand, but the way that we were using the game at the conference was slightly different. We were using it more pedagogically. You have this group of people in a room together, and they have a collective decision-making problem. They want to optimize the amount of money that they're getting, and in order to have that optimization work, you have to come to some sort of consensus as a group. So we threw in some extra complications. We had a transparency tax so that people could see what everybody else was giving if they contributed some portion of their income. And then we had an option for spite. If someone was cheating, another person could give some of their money to take even more money from the cheater. We were using the public goods game not as a measurement. We weren't trying to measure how cooperative this idiosyncratic group of NASCO participants were, but rather we were trying to use the game as a model, a role-playing game for playing out the kind of problems that you see in collective living, dish doing, or any other kind of cleaning task where it benefits the group, but individuals don't want to do it even though it benefits them in a holistic sense. I'm very often thinking about models and what they're good for. In this public goods game, it's very contrived, right? The amount of money doubles each round. For what reason? Oh, I don't know what reason. You're playing for chocolate or Skittles or something. Nonetheless, even though it's this very contrived situation, it can capture a lot of the complexity that goes into navigating your position in a group in this very simple way that's very easy to explain and very easy to play out. As I was driving to the NASCO conference, looking at all of the cars and thinking about all of the people driving those cars and all of the stories, why is it that I do any of this? Ultimately, the reason why I do it is that I want to understand human nature. I want to understand why it is that we do the things we do. I was thinking about your last video, the one you made about William Blake and Nicki Minaj, and what you said was that the reason why you like both of their work is because they remind you that you're human.
They're drawing our attention to the body.
Everything that we're doing here, rooms, all of it is made by us, humans. So I was wondering, in your next video, if you could talk a little bit about that. You used a word in your video, squishy.
It's very squishy.
I took that to mean they reminded you that you were human.
My skin's thick and actually hairy.
I wonder what that means to you. Till then, see ya. This is the end screen! Click on the logo to subscribe!